All right, welcome to the tutorial on graphing calculator basics. What I'm about to show you is true for TI-84s or TI-83s, pretty much any standard Texas Instrument calculator. There are some features here that might be new to some people, so I thought I would point them out in the context of functions. We've been learning how to work with the notation and the language of functions, and we've been working with tables and graphs. We'll see how this technology, however clunky it may be, can be useful to help us with our learning of algebra and learning of functions. So to begin with, I have this function, and it doesn't really represent anything, but it's just a function. And what I want to do is find out what the value of y is for each of these specific values of x. Now there's several different ways that we can do this, and the most basic is just using the calculator in its normal mode. So when you turn the calculator on, you'll see that you just get a blank screen. This is your workspace. If I wanted to evaluate f of -2, if I was doing it by hand, I would put -2 here, square it, and then multiply by -2. Put -2 here, multiply that by 5, and then add 14. And add them all up, that would be the value of f of x. So this would be 4 times -2 is -8. This would be -10, so that's -18 in total, plus a positive 14 makes -4. So let's see if the calculator does the same thing. So to use this, we could just go with negative. Notice there's a subtraction key. So we'll go 5 minus 6, and that gives us -1. But there's also a negative key. Look what happens when I go 5, -6. It says I can't do that. So it says error syntax. Syntax means I didn't type something in right. If I go to and hit enter, it'll tell me what I typed in incorrectly. I used the negative key instead of the subtract key. So this calculator treats those two different signs as different entities, and we need to be aware of that as we do our work. So now I'm going to evaluate f of -2. So I start by going -2 times our independent variable value was -2. And we want to square that. Now to square, we have here for a caret for exponents, or we can do the shortcut square, which is right here. I'm going to do that. So we have -2 times -2 squared plus 5 parentheses -2 and close parentheses, and then we're going to add 14, and -4 is the value. That's what I thought was going to happen when I did the work in my head, and that's confirmed by the calculator. Now, if I want to enter f of -1, I can do so by entering in everything manually, starting with the -2, starting over all that other stuff, or I could use this entry, this last entry feature. See, it says entry above the enter key, which is blue. So if I go second, I can access any of the blue commands on the keypad. Entry pulls up the very last thing that I typed in, and I could edit it if I want. So I'm going to go here, and instead of -2, I'm going to put in -1. Oops, -1. And here there was a -2, and I want that to be a -1 as well. Just overstrike automatically. So as soon as I hit enter, I get 7. I can verify that. -1 squared is 1 times -2 is -2. Minus 5 is -7. 14 minus 7 is 7. So that's confirmed by the graphing calculator. Now, I can continue entering the last entry and changing the value of x. I could do that all I want. By the way, if I go over here, now I want 0 instead of -1. If I type in 0, I still have the negative there. And if I don't want the negative there, I can use the delete option. Don't use clear, because clear makes the whole thing go away. But delete will just make one thing go away. Anyway, that's just the basics of using the graphing calculator. I think what I'm going to do in the next video is show you how we can use the function capabilities of your calculator to really access the power that we have. So yeah, tune in the next video, and we'll learn how to use function mode to enter a table of values in a much more efficient way.